Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Library Adventures Live. My name's Olivia Barndon. I'm one of the Kirklees librarians, and I've got the great pleasure of introducing today a local and international poet and rap star, Donavan Christopher, aka Rappaman. But before we meet Rappaman, I just want you to think back to last week. Do you remember we had Josh Lacey on? He was talking about the different books that he writes, but he focused on Hope Jones Saves the World. And if you can remember, Hope was on a mission to help the world and especially tackle climate change and plastic pollution. She had lots of different ways of doing this. Now, can anyone remember her top 10 tips? There was a few different ones she had. She had the 3 R's. Do you remember those? Reduce, reuse, recycle. You might have heard those in other places as well. Then her friend Harry had made up a spreadsheet to log all the plastic that they used. So maybe you've had a go at doing that. We'd love to see them if you have. How about picking up rubbish on a beach or a park? Have any of you had a chance to do that? And I bet you've all managed to go for a walk. You could go in the countryside. You could just walk down your street and look at the flowers and the trees. It's all great to just get out in nature. Now, he also mentioned face masks. Do you remember he talked about the disposable ones? And if you have those, to dispose of them properly. And if you have got fabric ones, he was just sort of talking about the fabric ones are good because you can reuse them and recycle. And I've just brought a few of mine just to show you. I've got this one, thought I'd model a few. I've pinched this one off my son with some sea turtles. I've got quite a few different ones you can have. So we really enjoyed last week's session. And if you missed it, you can watch again. I'll explain about that later on. Now, he also had a competition or a challenge for you to do. The challenge was to produce a poster or a banner about environmental issues. So we'd love to see, if you have done any of those, you can send them in to us at lal@kirklees.gov.uk. LAL is just Library Adventures Live. So we'd love to see the posters or banners that you've come up with. Or maybe you liked his idea of being Prime Minister for a day. What 10 things or 5 things or one really important thing would you do to change the world? So we'd love to hear those. Now, today's session. We have got a treat for you today. If you like rap, if you like poetry, if you like rhythm and rhyme, if you just like words in general, we've got the right session for you today. You might have seen this man before. He's been in loads of libraries and schools around Kirklees, around the UK and all around the world. He gets around everywhere, so you might well have seen him. It's Donavan Christopher, aka Rappaman. Good morning, Donavan.
Good morning, Olivia. Really nice to see you.
How are you?
I'm fine,
Good
thank you.
to see you.
Good to go. All that plastic stuff. I've actually wrote some stuff about reuse, recycle, and what was the other R? Recycle,
Reduce.
reuse, and
Reduce.
Yeah. I've actually got some poems on that, but you won't be hearing them today. But they're in my new book. We'll talk about that later.
That's for another session. Excellent. Cool. Right. So I think the idea is you're going to do some of your raps, your poems, and then I'm going to pop up later for some bit of a Q&A.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If anybody's got any questions for Donavan, you can always sort of, when we've got a guest on, you can email the week before. But if you've got any questions now, you can type them into the chat in Facebook or in YouTube Live. And then if we see any questions coming up, we'll be able to put those to Donavan today. But for now, I think I'll stop talking because they don't want to see me, they want to see you. So I'll hand over to you and let you do your thing.
Thank you very much, Olivia. Yep. Here we are. I'm standing tall. Thank you very much. Really nice to see you all. Good morning and good respect, as I would say. My name is Donavan Christopher, aka the Rappaman, and this morning I shall be sharing some of my poems, some cool poems, some crazy poems. You might even get a chance to join in. I work in schools all over the country. I also work out of the country. And my philosophy is RAP, which stands for Respect All People. And poetry, my acronym for poetry is just simply positive oral expression through reciting yourself. I'm sure you'll catch that later on. So without further ado, my first poem I'd like to share out of my book called Rappaman. And it's simply called Rappaman. It goes like this. R to the A to the PPA, Rappaman is here today to show you how to rhyme and rap. Write enough rhymes, just like that. Pick up a pen, thinking cap, pen and paper, start to tap. R to the A to the PPA. Donavan C is here today, showing love and not respect. Not respect is what you get. R to the A to the PPA. Words in work, rest and play like work to the O, R and K, R to the E, S and T, P to the L to the A and why? Because words are a fountain gone to the sky. R to the A to the PPA. Rap, rap, rap till it old and grey. Don't disrespect what I say, because words will help you along life's way. Thank you very much. I'm sure you like that. And that's just simply called Rappaman out of my first book. I'm sure you're aware that I've got another 2 books here, and I will be sharing poems out of these books. TikTok, the time don't stop. So without further ado, my next poem is simply called Poetry. Now, when I was at school, I always thought you could sing poems because they rhymed, and because of nursery rhymes, I thought, well, it's a poem, it's got rhymes. So once I'd read the poem, I would always try to sing it. So I'm going to show you how you can read a poem. This is simply called Poetry. And then I'm going to do a bit of a rap about the same poetry. So it goes like this. It's called Poetry. This is Poetry and a Y. I'll be singing words like this till the day that I die. Poets, Poets Time. Thank you very much, Library Adventures listeners, for listening to my rhymes. From the day that you're born, in case you never know it, everyone's got a skill to be a lyrical flow it. I know some of you said poet, but I flow it. Everybody wants to talk, everybody wants to chat. Nobody wants to lose or even get the sack. If you start from A, set your mind free, you can flow, you can go, just like me. Some of my sentences are long, flowing like the river Nile, Nile, Nile. And some are just short, oh my. Poetr and a Y. I'll be singing words like this till the day that I die. Poets, Poets Time. Respect Library Adventures Live for listening to my mind. I know some of you said rhyme, but yeah, that's how we roll. And that's how you read a poem or recite. That same poem, I'm going to show you, I'll put a bit more excitement into it. So, because I think reading poems and talking, it's all about expression, especially reading poems, stories. Got to put that expression into it. So I've just read it or recited it, because I am the poem. Now I'm going to rap it for you. Just put a bit more zip into it. Yeah, a bit more expression. It goes like this. Well, this is Poetry and a Y. I'll be singing words like this till the day that I die. Well, this is Poets, Poets Time. Respect you for listening to my rhymes from the day that you're born. In case you never know it, everybody's got a skill to be a lyrical poet. Everybody wants to talk, everybody wants to chat, nobody wants to lose or even get the sack. If you start from A, set your mind free, you can flow, you can go, just like me. Well, some of my sentences are long, flowing like the river Nile, and some are just short. Oh my, well, this is Poetr and a Y. I'll be singing words like this till the day that I die. Well, this is Poetry, yes, Poets Time. Thank you very much for listening to my, did say mind. I hope you can hear me. I've destroyed my earphones.
Oh, we can hear you.
Yes, very much have destroyed them. I'm not used to being tied to a computer. I mean, this is 21st. Is it 21st century? Let me get this back in here. I hope you like that one. And that was simply called Poetry. I think this one's destroyed. Look at that. Look at that. That's what happens when you do poetry tied to a machine. Let's try this one. Can you hear me, Olivia?
I can hear you.
That's good enough for me. I'm sure you can all hear me. I'm going to have to fly through on one wing. Yeah. So anyway, that was poetry. And I hope you understood that you can read a poem and you can actually try and put a bit more expression into it, or even try singing it. You should try that at home. Yeah, I hope so. This next poem is simply called Yourself. Can you say yourself? You wouldn't normally do that. You go yourself. Can you try that? Yourself. And it really is about just you being the best you can be, you being the best version of you. So it goes like this. Tena Yestelin, which is like an Ethiopian greetings for hi, hello, good morning. Tena Yestelin, Assalamu alaikum, good morning, respect due, greetings I bring to everybody within my view. Be yourself and no one. Whoever told you to be someone? Be yourself and no one. Whoever told you to be someone? The sun shines for you and everybody too. The rain from the sky is for me and for you. We breathe the same air, you and me. You like coffee, I like... Actually, it's drinking chocolate. But I see no reason to disagree and start a war with my army. So, be yourself and no one. Whoever told you to be someone? Be yourself and no one. Whoever told you to be someone? The earth is a house for everyone to share. I hope from today we all take. A house like ours is truly rare. You'll never find another one like this out there. So I hope today we're smart and prepare to be yourself and no one. Whoever told you to be someone? Be yourself and no one. Whoever told you to be someone? Be yourself and no one. Whoever told you to be someone? Be your... I hope so. You should be yourself. Be yourself and no one else. I hope you like that. And it is, the house is at earth for everyone to share. And I hope today we all take care and prepare to be yourself. Remember, yeah? Tick-tock goes the clock, time don't stop. This next poem is simply called, I hope you can join in. And I'm sure some of the adults are watching. You can join in as well. This is all about chatter rap. So RAP stands for respect all people. That's the message I sell when I'm working with young people and adults around regional, national and international schools. So it's called chatter rap. All you have to do is remember first and foremost that it stands for respect all people. Got that? It'll stand for a few other things, but the main thing it stands for is respect all people. Definitely got to be that. It stands for rice and peas in Caribbean households over the weekends and Sundays, especially Sundays. It's rice and peas, RAP. But this is called chatter rap. And all you need to do is go rap whenever I go R to the A to the P. I think you got that. I'll try it one more time. R to the A to the P. Now, I know some of the kids may be joining in, some of the youngsters, and I know some of the adults are probably sat there with their arms folded, and the young kids should be just giving them a little nudge and saying, join in, get involved. I normally say, get involved to get the problem solved. You'll feel a lot better as well. So, we'll try it one more time.
Shall I join in, Donovan?
Hello.
I'll join in the background. Can you hear me?
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Always love a bit of support, but I'm sure there's some people out there in digital world getting involved, because I did say get involved to get the problem solved. Right. All I'm going to do is go R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Oh, it's a bit dynamite. I just need it on that snap. Yeah. And the parents and carers, all everyone, help the kids to get involved as well. Yeah. Here we go. We like to... No, you got to wait till I say rap, because I know someone went rap before the time they normally do. Yeah, there it is, RAP. So here we go. We like to... Wait for it. We like to... R to the A to the P. Better get going. I'm going to pull that one back because I didn't even hear Olivia say rap. She's just amazed. She just, by the sound, just looking at the screen like this. Oh, Donovan's great. Please, just give me that little snap. If you don't, Olivia, it's not a problem, right? Because I've done this one before and I know what it's like. Some kids are saying, get on with it. Here we go. R to the A to the P. Rap. Better get going. Well, R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Read a poem. Well, R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Do you see what I see? R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Rhyme and poetry. Well, R to the A to the P.
Rap.
No use not knowing. R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Real ace poems. R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Smile with a dimple. That's a smile. That's a smile. R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Respect all.
People.
Oh, respect all.
People.
Respect all.
People.
R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Can you rhyme properly? R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Rhythmic, alternative, poetry. R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Rhythmic, Asian, poetry. R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Rhythmic, Australian, poetry. R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Rhythmic, Aboriginal, poetry. R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Rhythmic, African, poetry. R to the A to the P.
Rap.
R to the A to the P. 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 R to the A to the P.
Rap.
Give yourselves a clap, just like that. So there was a few things that I said RAP stood for there. If you'd like to get involved to get a problem solved, see if you can, maybe email, text. I think it's email Olivia. And what did RAP stand for?
Yeah, you can do it on the Facebook Live and YouTube Live.
There you go. All you Facebook Live and YouTube Livers. Yeah.
You did have lots of people joining in. I've had lots of comments, Rappaman. There've been lots of people commenting saying that.
Respect. Really appreciate that. A lot of love, because I'm just looking at myself here and I think, well, I might as well entertain myself as well. But I know there's people out there in digital world. But back to what I said, RAP, there was a few other things it stood for. My main one is respect all people, and it should be yours. But if you have a play, there was a few more that I said. If you can remember some of them, see if you can type them into that Facebook Live or that YouTube Live thing. I think that should be cool. This next poem is simply called I'm Just a Poem. And you're a poem. And you're a poem. And you're a poem. And I think you're a poem. I'm sure everybody, and maybe you can explain it to the youngsters, for the older citizens, not too old, people then I should say. When people said to you, I can read you like a book, that should tell us all a lot. And if you've never heard that saying, ask around, and I'm sure people will tell you about it. And if you're not sure what it means, ask people, break it down. But when I say I can read you like a book, it's really important. It is a saying that people have said for a very long time. It shows us that we are something. And I talk about blank pages. Don't be a blank page. Don't just sit there and be a blank page. You've got to put something on your pages. And every day you get a blank page. The day that you get is your blank page. What have you done with it? And if every day passes and you don't do nothing, people get to understand that I can read you like a book, meaning you're not going to do anything, or you're not going to do what you said. Yeah. So I call this one I'm Just a Poem. And if you've got enough poems, you become a book of poems. You've got enough stories, you can become a book of stories. If you've got enough fables, well, you've all heard about the boy who cried wolf. As much as fable stories are great, but if you've got enough fables, maybe you become a fable. So be careful, keeping it real. This is called I'm Just a Poem. It goes like this. I'm just a poem, but I'm alive. I'm just a poem. I'll always survive. I have feelings, meanings, and notions. To the ink, the pen, and the pad, I show my devotion. I'm just a poem. I was written for you, to take some time to see the full view. I look at you, and you look at me. I stare at you, and you read me. I am a mirror, the reflection to you, the connection to you, the correction of you. You and I are on the same stage, page, even age. I'm also that poem to guide you when you're growing, to keep you in the knowing, in wind, rain, sandstorms, and when it's snowing, and when you're feeling down and weak, I keep you going. Remember me, I'm just a poem. Thank you very much. I'm sure you like that. We're all poems of such sort. Which brings me around to is anybody out there called Tom? Because if there is somebody out there called Tom, this next poem is called Lazy Tom. Now, it might not be you. I'm hoping it might not be you. I'm hoping it's not you. I'm sure some Toms are getting some funny looks at this moment in time. It is called Lazy Tom, and it goes like this. Lazy Tom was also lazy. He lounged around on the basis of daily. Tom would never go to school. He'd rather play and be Tom Fool. He never read a single book or even ever took a look. He never wrote a single thing. At night he'd hang out and sometimes sing. With his friends through the gates, off they'd roam. And by early next morning, Tom would be home. Mum never seemed to be bothered. If it were me, I would have got clobbered. Tom would eat, yawn, sleep in the flat. Wouldn't you do the same if you were a cat? I know you're getting some funny looks there. You might need to explain it to some of them. Some of the kids might need to explain it to the adults, and some of the adults might need to explain it to the kids. So yeah, it's all about Tom, cat, Tom, cat, Tom, man, Jerry. Yeah. I'm sure you've got that right. Which brings me around to great poem again. It's called These Two Pupils. Tom, I hope it wasn't Lazy Tom, and if there was a Lazy Tom out there and anybody knows them, as long as you're not rude, just email in, because I've got stuff for lazy people to do that may motivate them if that be the case. But I'm hoping Tom's not that lazy. Yeah, but if it's the cat, hey, cats can be lazy. This next poem is called These Two Pupils in My Class Stare All Day and Learn So Fast. These two pupils rarely speak, but their written work is really neat. These two pupils do everything together, and everyone says they're all so clever. Well, these two pupils are always there, but always playing with their hair. These same pupils in my class look at the world from behind a glass. At school, they never see my face, even though we share the same space. These two pupils synchronize because these two pupils are in my eyes. Yeah, I know. It's one of them poems that, again, some of the kids might need to explain it to the adults, and some of the adults might need to explain it to the kids about those two black dots in your eyes. They are called... Those two black dots are called... I can't hear you screaming at me, but I'm sure some of you are. Yeah, they're called pupils. So actually, you've got two pupils in your eyes. You go to school as a pupil. So that means there's three pupils. You are three people going to school, because what you miss, the other two pupils are not supposed to. I'm sure you kind of understand the logic. Yeah? Use that logic, because actually you should be doing a lot more, learning a lot more, and doing a lot more. Three pupils into one. What can I say? Listen, R to the A to the PPA, Rappaman is here today, and I do believe, Olivia, we have got round to some question times.
Yeah, we've had some questions sent in. I'm going to see if I can be fancy and make them appear on the screen.
Okie doke.
So we've had the first one here. We've got a question from May, and May says, "Have you always wanted to be a rapper, and what inspires you?"
Well, when I normally get that, I like playing with words for a start. So anytime I hear a rapper, Milky Way was my favorite sort of chocolate bar sort of thing. And then all chocolates and sweets have got rapper. So no, I didn't always want to be a rapper. I I just play with words when I hear like that. I wouldn't say I wanted to be a rapper. I think I just saw things that I think I needed to share, or I had a load of ideas I just wanted to share. I see myself as a social peace poet. I'm also a children's author. as you can see, RAP, respect all people. That's the philosophy behind what I do. So that's what it was really, or it's what it's about. And people inspire me. Everything I see can inspire me. Bad things can inspire you. Great things can inspire you. So yeah, the whole world can inspire me. So I'm part of it. You're part of it. I hope that will suffice the answer.
Excellent. It's a fantastic answer. Right, we've got a double question. We've got May back again, and we've also got Poppy. Poppy says, how old were you when you started to rap?
Again, I go right back to my cradle when you say that. I go right back to my cradle. Good ga 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 good ga 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 good ga. Maybe then that's when that started rapping. If that's what Again, I went to high school, and I think everybody's a bit witty and can talk. So it was just again love of music. My parents are Caribbean. I grew up listening to a lot of music. I heard a lot of nursery rhymes. I still like my nursery rhymes. So I think it's just that the rhythm and the rhyme about it.
Yeah.
And the mystery. And I think she has something else there.
Oh, we've got May. May asks, what's the most exciting place you've rapped for people in?
Oh, that's kind of a good question, really. I mean, I think anywhere I am in a live audience can be exciting. And it really is difficult. I've worked in so many schools. I've worked in so many schools abroad as well. And to be fair, I generally get the same kind of response. So it's difficult to split hairs between them. I live in Huddersfield, so I'm going to have to pick a Huddersfield school.
Or a Huddersfield library. So I don't want to influence you there.
I've had some great audiences in the Huddersfield Library, so maybe the Huddersfield Library. But yeah, it's difficult. It's a difficult question. I wouldn't say one school's better than the other. I think all the young people and the staff that support me enjoy what I share with them. I hope that suffices.
Cool. Well, how are you finding this, Donavan? How are you finding the rapping into the ether?
Well, I'm tied. I'm tied to a machine at the moment, which is not good for my health. It's not really good for my health, because I am, they say a moving target's harder to hit. Olivia, I don't stand one spot for so long, not for a whole hour. I've got about four paces between where I can sort of move between.
Yeah, you've normally walked about 4 miles by now.
I'm all the way over there and over there, so it's a bit strange. And as you can see, I've already destroyed one of my earphones. That's because the hands were giving it all the expression and, what do you want me to do? We talk with the hands as well. We do. And forgot I had this on. And so, yeah, it's strange, but I'm enjoying it. I do believe people, it's the mystery of is anybody listening, Olivia? Sure they're out there?
Oh, yeah.
I believe yes.
We've got a lot of comments coming in.
Yes, well, I do my thing then, because I can't see anybody apart from the lovely Olivia. So thank you very much for listening into it. Have you got another question? We've
got some more questions. We've got a question here from Dinah. So Dinah's actually one of my colleagues, and she says, "What time of day do you get most of your inspiration?" That's a good one.
I'm a bit of a night walker. I am. I'm a bit of a night walker. It is always a lot of my stuff I've wrote in the early hours of the morning when everything is real cool and still. My pen just keeps on writing until, and literally until my pen won't let me go once it starts writing. But it's always early hours of the morning, and if that takes me through to daylight and sunrise, so be it. It's a beautiful time to write. No distractions. You kind of in tune with yourself and the elements. You can have your own music on. You can have the TV on if you want, even though you can ignore it. Early hours of the morning.
So do you ever try to write, or do you just sort of wait for the inspiration to come and then?
Yeah. It's really about I never know when the next poem's going to come, so that's the fun part of it. That's the mystery part of it, because as I said, we're all bits of sponges, and we see things during the day that we don't like. We think about things that we don't like. We see things that we like. We think about things that we like. And during the day, these are processes going on within everybody. And I never plan to write, to be fair. It just tends to happen. But when it does, sometimes I write about 3 or 4 poems from all the stuff I've been sort of soaking in. So hope that works.
Fantastic.
Can I just say one thing on that? I had a great friend, Nick Topchek. He's a bit of a mentor to me. And Nick, he said to me, he says he writes every day because if he was a sports person, he would be required to write every day. And I thought, oh my gosh, that it's got a point. It's got a point. And I thought, oh, I need to get in training. But it didn't happen for me that way. And I realized, well, that's not me. That's Nick.
Yeah.
You know, what Nick does works for him. And what I do, I have to just work with what works for me. Because I think if I was trying to write something every day, I never think it, I don't think it'd be interesting. Because what I do write and share with everybody, it literally is, I think, an inspiration from somewhere else.
No, that's interesting. I think everyone's got their style and their different way of working, and haven't they, that they do?
Be yourself and no one else.
Exactly.
I'll have to send that to Nick. I'll have to send that to Nick.
Yeah. We've got another one. We've got another one. This is a good one.
Yeah.
Do you have a sunny day poem to brighten up a rainy day? Not that we ever get them in Huddersfield.
Do I have a sunny day poem? I think all my poems are sunny days, so to speak. I don't have a poem called Sunny Days, but if you want to brighten up the day, a rainy day, the chance to brighten up a rainy day is to write a rainy poem.
Yeah?
Write a rainy poem.
I like
Use that inspiration around you. And I'll go back as far as when we were kids. We used to say, rain, rain, go away. Come back
again,
on
another.
Yeah, you play with that in your mind and you'll find other things you can say, I'm sure. But yeah, well, I think all my poems kind of brighten up the day, I would say.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, it's brightening up this hour. It's been fantastic so far. Obviously got a couple more, and then I think you're going to do a bit more for us. This was I had a really interesting one sent in from Sam, age 12. Sam says,
Sam.
when it's written down, is there a difference between a poem, a rap, and a story? So when they're just written on a page, is there a difference between them?
Well, it's not much because it's ink and paper, isn't it? It's words of ink and a bit of paper. Words of ink and a bit of paper. So I don't know how fine you want to split it. A story, a story is a story. A poem's another type of story, and a rap can be a story. There's always a message in there of something, whether it's humorous or whether there is something a bit more pertaining to enlightenment or advice. So if it's on a bit of a paper, it could be a story, it could be a poem, it could be a rap. You know, as I said earlier, you can read a poem and you can sing a poem. Is it a song or is it a poem? There you go, Sam.
All mixed up together.
Sam, you decide. That's the beauty, that's the beauty of, as I will say again, the beauty of writing poetry. There is no, you don't have to have no rules and regulations. You keep it real, keep it respectful. It's how you put it on the page and how you deliver it.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. And do you have a favourite poet?
Everybody always asks me that. It's a strange question. I don't have many favourite things. I have a favourite football team. I can answer that for sure. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, go on.
All I can tell you is they lost the other day. That's all I'll say for now. And I don't have many favourite things. I love lots of things. Meaning, when it comes to my poems, they're like my children, and I would never put one of my children before the other. And I normally say to the kids, you need to find out which one of my children you want to hang out with. So you need to have a word with some of the children. And then you decide. And when I see you, who asked that question, by the way?
That was from one of the library staff, that one.
Yeah, because is the library staff got a name, or is her name or his name library staff?
Was that one from Jazz? Oh, that was from Jazz.
Jazz, you have to have a look. And when I see you, Jazz, and hopefully I'll see you, it's a lot of reading to do, by the way. And then you can tell me which is your favourite.
Good answer.
But what I would share with you is that I haven't done it for a long time, but I'm going to save it for the Black History Month, though, Olivia. I do have a poem called Black Cinderella that I used to do very regular, and I've realised that I haven't really done it for quite a while, quite some time. But when I went to the schools and they knew about this poem, they would always ask me to do it again for them. But I'm sure we will be meeting again in.
Oh yeah, that's something for the future then.
I've got to dangle a carrot, Anna. If you want to hear it.
Yeah, you'll have to come back.
Anyway.
I've lost my ears. So I think now we're going to go on to you're going to do a few more of your poems and rhymes.
Yeah.
Oh, and not before. I mustn't forget Tobias's question. Tobias, age 9, said, if you're an animal, what would you be? Very important question.
Tobias, if I was an animal, I would be a lion. I'd be a lion with all this hair of mine. I'd be a lion. King of the pride, king of the jungle. And when I say that, it's whether it's the concrete jungle or the organic one. But I'd be a lion. Tobias, what would you be?
Ooh. We'll see if he writes in and lets you know.
Oh, and I think all the people who's put questions in, what kind of animals would you be? And then I'm going to say, because it's all about playing, Tobias, once you decide what kind of animal you'll be, there's your poem. And for everybody else who thinks I'm going to be an eagle and soar above it, then be the eagle. And I will say, if you are writing a poem about something like an eagle, a horse, a cat, be the cat. If you want to be the teapot, be the teapot. That's how you get good poems. You've got to actually put yourself, no, not inside the teapot, but put yourself in the teapot. Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Imagine that teapot looking at the family and thinking of your family sat on the table, and the teapot stands there proud all day. Yeah. And he can't read, and he don't like when the father comes home because, you know, maybe he angles the teapot the roughest. I don't know. You decide.
Oh, we'll look forward to that one.
Just some idea to have a bit of fun with.
Because do you think everyone can write a poem, can't they?
I think so. Can I just share this with them also? I'm sure everybody's got a name. Tobias the lion, or Tobias the tiger. Yeah, Tobias the tiger. That sounds wrong, but Tobias. I think if Tobias is spelt like this, T to the O-B-I-A-S. Yeah. Everybody knows I am the best. Yeah. So everybody can even start with their own name. You know, there you go, Tobias. It was T to the O-B-I-A-S. You should know that I'm the best. I roll my rap. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. And Olivia, have you got a name right there, Olivia? O to the L-I-V-A. O to the L-I-V to the A-V-I-A. O to the L-V-I-A. This is what I want to say. Right? And once you start, you can start to build it and widen it. Just get it going as simply as you can, and then start to make it a bit more complex.
Brilliant. Thanks, Donavan. There's some great tips there. And I think you've got, I'm going to hand back over to you in a second. And I think you've got a bit of a competition to talk about as well. If you do, maybe we'll hear a few more of your poems, and then you can talk about the competition.
Yeah, we can do. Like I say, TikTok goes the clock, time don't stop. Always read between my lines, then you'll get the extra rhymes. I've got a poem here, and it's a bit like a tongue twister. I'm sure it's in my Rappaman to the Rescue book of rooms. Yeah, I'm going to quickly just show you that just in case. There you go. And it's called With Precision. If you ever get a chance to look at that book, have a look for that poem and try and read it. And it's a bit of a play. You can do it with your mates. I think when I was at school, me and my mates used to play a bit of rhyming, just rhyming tennis. You know, you say a word, I've got to rhyme something to it. You know, you just played tennis with the word, or you played it with a whole sentence sometimes. Yeah, now I'm going to go and sit down. And your mate might say, that's why you look like a clown. And I says, no, my name is just, you know, it's only because I wear a crown. And you play with stuff like that, and you can switch the rhymes. But anyway, with precision. And it is a bit of a competition, actually. I'm just having I might say, I'm going to read it. It's called With Precision, but it's going to mention subjects. Subjects, I'm going to say subjects, yeah. Subjects, and see how many subjects you can hear that's mentioned in this particular poem. It goes like this. Literally, competition. Can you write a composition? Literally, literacy. Have some fun and rhyme like me. With rhyming, timing, in precision. Heart and mind are on a mission. Words of iron and people listen. Sparkle like fire and begin to glisten. Every word spoke became a written. Style and thought of your decision. The composition is literacy, with a hint and dash of numeracy. Alternatively, between the lines, addition, subtractions, and plus sometimes, with yards, squares, and rectangles. And don't forget all the right angles. Watch pen to paper, make an incision, and emancipate, free some words from your prism. Then handle your pen with precise precision and let the words on the page be your decision. Thank you very much. And that's a tongue twister. And I suppose if you do come across it, have fun with your friends. See who can read it the quickest, or who can say literally competition, literally literacy competition. Quickly say it. Can't hear it. Go on, Olivia. Let's see. Literally competition.
Literally literacy competition.
That's not bad at all, Olivia. That's not bad at all. Did Tobias have a go on Sam and Jazz, was it? And few of, I can't hear them, but I'll say
They're
it one more time.
They're shouting it out.
Literally, it goes literally literacy competition. There you go. One more time, Olivia.
Literally literacy competition.
Yeah, very good. I think I've said that to you a few times. Now you're getting used to that.
I'll practice.
So anyway, and literally literacy. What about that one? Literally literacy.
Literally literacy.
Pardon, what was that? One more time.
Literally literacy.
Oh, yes, I think it was a bit of a skip in there. And
Literally literacy.
Tobias said literally literacy.
Tobias was spot on.
I think you've all had a go with that one. But anyway, has anybody texting how many subjects they thought they saw in there, Olivia?
Not yet.
Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it.
We have had some animals. We've had
okay.
May and Poppy would be a fox and a tortoise.
No, that sounds great. No, that sounds like a book. That sounds like a book I'd buy already. The Fox and the Tortoise. Is it tortoise or tortoise?
Tortoise, I think.
Well, I think
it depends what you're rhyming it with.
Tortoise. We used to call them tortoise. Anyway. Yeah. What, a fox and a
tortoise.
That sounds the story there. It'd be great for him to do a poem with that, and just imagine the fox trying to hide from the tortoise who's chasing him. Something like that. It can go the other way around, or hiding from the tortoise. The fox is hiding from the tortoise, or the tortoise is hiding from the fox. Great little poem. I'm sure it can be done.
They can email them in to us if they'd like to do that.
This next poem is called Today's the Day, Library Adventures Live. Donavan Christopher, aka the Rappaman, R to the A to the PPA. Rappaman is here today. This poem's called Today's the Day. Today's the day I captured the sky. I, me, myself, yes I. I've captured spiders eating a fly, and captured ants as they pass by, even roaming goats, cattle and sheep, and captured an elephant falling asleep, captured a worm, captured a mouse, the one that you used to eat out the house. I've captured a whale and a hyena, fast as they be. I caught a cheetah, captured buffalo and even birds. On this page, I've captured words. On this page, I've captured words through the lens of my eye. There you see, I've captured the sky. I wonder what things you might capture the next time you decide to use your camera. Thank you very much. Sure you got that one. I like to. It's strange as well. I think if you've got an idea for a poem, some of the poems I've written, they've actually been based off the last thing I've said. Going back to the two pupils, because these two pupils are in my eyes. And you know, when I came to that realization, I realized there was a poem there. I knew how it was going to finish, so I built the rest on top of it. And that's what you can do, because you can have a great idea for the end of something, and sometimes the hardest thing can be finishing something. So you've just got to know how you think, how your thought process is. Yeah, so you can come up with an idea for the last line and think, okay, let me write down on top of it. And by the time you get to the bottom, it's finished, because you've got a great puzzle at the end. And I do sort of like leading you astray with some of my stuff. When you think I'm talking about one thing, it's actually something else. And I think that's what I like about poems as well, is the mystery. They're like treasure maps to me, especially when you've got to think about them. And there's something in there. And then you've got those that are really long and maybe a bit too long for me at times. And sometimes you can hear a poem, great poem, and it's one line that went, I get it now. I get you now. You've heard 20 lines, 30 lines out of a poem, but it was one particular line that you went, I like that line, because it made the whole thing. Now you understand. This next poem is simply called Lucky Humpty. Yeah, this is a Humpty Dumpty poem. I've told you I like my nursery rhymes, and I've realised that a lot of youngsters nowadays maybe don't do as many nursery rhymes as what we did when we were growing up. But anyway, by the time I became Rappaman, I thought I'll go and save Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, because when I was at school, infant school, he was falling off a wall. I got to junior school and he kept falling off the wall. I went to the library, saw some Humpty Dumpty books in there as well, and he's falling off the wall. High school, left high school, seen Humpty Dumpty book, he's still falling off the wall. So here we go. I thought my first job as Rappaman is to save Humpty Dumpty. So this is what I did. I went back in time to seek and find the wall that Humpty Dumpty sat on. I blew it up with a song. Now it's all gone. Maybe the people in Library Adventure Live may sing a new song, like Humpty Dumpty went to the park. Yay. He played all day until it was dark. All of a sudden he saw a big bright spark. Just like sunshine, it lit up the park. Someone's blown up the park wall, the one where Humpty was supposed to fall, the one he dreamt of when he was... Yeah. All of a sudden, he saw the Queen's men, horses and all, thousands of them, chasing, racing, rushing around like a herd of elephants. They shook the ground. Humpty Dumpty took off like a cat. Out of the park, he did dash, ran through the streets and fell in the trash. He disturbed a dog. He disturbed a rat. Humpty Dumpty took off like a... But now I don't know just where he's. But all the Queen's horses and all the Queen's men keep putting that wall back together again. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I have to keep every now and then. I think it's once a month. Once a month, I think I've got to go and actually go and take that wall down. So I've got my work cut out because they keep building it back. It wasn't the King's men, it was the Queen's men. Right, so I've got a quick competition for you. You should have a pen. I hope you've got a pen. Something that you can just quickly scribble down this word. Olivia, have we got the word on? Is that word on screen for everybody to see?
It is.
There's the word. Now, this is the competition. Just by looking at that word, see how many words you can actually find inside the word knowledge. You don't have to rearrange it, change stuff up. There are some words just sat in that whole one word, and you'll find, I'm not going to tell you how many you're going to find, but see how many words you can find in the word knowledge. Once you've found those words, I'm going to give you the first one because you can actually see no. Yeah, I'm going to give you that one. Once you found a word like no, which is the K-N-O-W, what words will rhyme with no? There's various, there's a few, so I'm going to go no. Now I need a rhyming couplet for it. I'm just going to say flow. So I've got two words there. So for every word you find in knowledge, put a rhyming couplet next to it. It might not be the appropriate one, so long as it rhymes for now, that's the main thing. And once you've got rhyming words for all the words that you found in knowledge, see if you can write a poem about knowledge. And I'm going to say education. Education is just thrown at you because knowledge is education, and you can rhyme stuff off of education as well if you want. But the main words are the words you find in knowledge. Rhyming couplets, make a poem about it. And I do believe it's a competition. If you can write a poem with the word knowledge, don't have to be about education, but it just suggests to be linked to education. That's why I say play with words like education just to extend your poem or make it round and rhyme. Once you've done that, if you can send it into Library Adventures Live. Olivia, would you like to say something?
Press the right button. Yes, so if you can send them in to us by the 30th of September, so you've got a fair while to do it. If you just need your name and your age, and that's all we need. And if you send it into lal@kirklees.gov.uk, then we're going to be picking 3 winners. And have you got your books handy there, Donovan?
I do.
We've got 3 winners. So each of the winners will win a copy of one of Donovan's books.
That was the second one. Book of Rooms, Rappaman to the rescue, Book of Rooms, and Rappaman must be read all over. Now, I'm not telling you to read this book, but that's another puzzle for you to work out. It's just called Must Be Read All Over. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah.
It's another one of your double meanings.
Yeah, well, that's, life's full of double meanings, isn't there? Life's full of double meanings. You've got to walk between lines, so you might as well read between them.
Exactly. Now, if you can't wait till the 30th of September to find out if you've won, you can visit Donovan's website, www.rappaman.com, and you can buy Donovan's books on there.
Thank you very much.
Once libraries are fully open again in the future, you'll be able to borrow them from us. But in the meantime, you can try and win yourself a copy, or you can buy yourself a copy there. You can also, if you've enjoyed this session, you can go to our website and watch it again. If you go to kirkleyslibraries.co.uk/lal, you can watch any of the sessions that you've missed. So you can watch this one again to get some more inspiration. You can watch ones from the past, and in a second it shows you what's coming up next as well. So in a second I'll talk about that. I will just ask Donavan, did you have anything else to say about the competition?
No, I think that's the main thing about that particular competition. But there was one thing I want to ask, because when I mentioned the word poetry earlier, don't put it up, Olivia. You can actually put the word poetry up, just the word poetry. Yeah. There was an acronym that I actually relate to this particular word. Not going to put it up. Don't need to put it up, Olivia. I just want to see if maybe some of the viewers can have a go at sending in some what they think it says. What does POETR and a Y stand for? It spells poetry, but I did say in one of my poems, and it has been floating across the bottom of the screen, I do believe. So we'll wait to see if anybody gets involved to get the problem solved.
Exactly. They could email us in. They could contact us now, email, or they could watch the show again. Then they'd find out, wouldn't they, Donavan?
What I'm going to say. I mean, can we? Because there's three books. So we can have 2 books for the poetry competition, and we can have 1 if they can get the acronym for what poetry was. Does that work, Olivia?
Well, I think we can have 3 for the competition, and then we'll have a special one for this. If anyone can get this, we'll have an extra one. Yeah,
because like I said earlier, RAP stands for Respect All People, and rhythmic African poetry, or rhythmic alternative poetry, rhythmic Asian poetry, rhythmic Arabic poetry, rhythmic Aboriginal poetry, rhythmic Australian poetry, and so these are what I play with, and when I tell people that, it takes away that negative stereotype about rap for a start, because people say, "Oh, is that what it stands for?" I says, "Well, that's what it stands for me." And when you think about the rap, there is negative rap and there's positive rap. Just like people have communications negatively and positively. So when we talk about rap, you think about the American rappers, and it was a bit dark and derogatory, but it was, in other parts of rap, it was very educational and very uplifting. But it would seem the media would only play a lot of the hard driven, the conscious stuff. You have to go seeking for that. The media won't play that. They'd rather you hear some of that negative, derogatory stuff. But anyway, so that's what rap stands for. Respect all people.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Donavan. This has been a fantastic session. I've really enjoyed it, and I know I've worked with you many times, and each time I'm always sort of inspired to have a go. My raps never quite come out like yours, but I always have fun having a go. So I'm not allowed to enter the competition, but I might have a go at just writing it anyway, just for myself.
Yeah, and as I said, they've got the name raps to play with as well. So hopefully you've had a few ideas.
Oh, we have had a request, Donavan.
Yes.
We have had a request from, here we go. I think she was typing fast. Dinah says, can you do one for Dinah?
Right,
DINAA.
I do appreciate Dinah, because again, this social distancing. This social distancing thing. Because when I am sharing this particular idea, you can find a rhyme for all the letters of the alphabet, but I normally say H is generally the hardest. So Dinah, I normally go, and I normally say Josh, for example, but I could do Dinah, which is my name is D to the I N. My name is D to the I N A H. My name is Dinah, and I'm off to space. So H kind of rhymes with face, space, place. So if you play with that, your rhymes flowing already. My name is D to the I N A H. Yeah. And my mum says I've got a cute face. I don't know. Yeah. So you can play with it. So respect, I really appreciate that, because as I say, when we're not all together, it kind of just slipped me that H one. You've got the Rebecca sometimes and Josh. But the rest you should be able to negotiate neatly.
Brilliant. Thank you. She'll be well chuffed with that, Donovan. Thank you very much.
Have I got one for the road for them?
Sorry? Yeah.
I got one more point for that, but we still got.
Well, I'll tell you what. Shall I do all my bits and then we can hand the last word to you?
Yeah, because actually, like I said, there's still a load of more points to go through. But hey, that's what it is. But I do want to share. I do want to share the house made of sweets with them. In fact,
oh, perfect.
I will share.
Right.
No, I'm going to share. You know what this is, don't you, Olivia?
I think so. We should.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you leave it with me once you've said, and I'll finish with that particular point.
I'll tell them about it next week, and then we can look forward to that in a second. Yeah. So, as I said before, if you want to see, if you've missed any sessions or you want to see what's happening next week, just log on to our website, kirkleyslibraries.co.uk/LAL. So next week, it's got something a little bit different. We've got a young presenter takeover. So May and Poppy, who have been very busy on the comments today, they're actually hosting next week's session, and they're joined by author and illustrator Jack Noel. His book, My Head Teacher is an Evil Genius. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. It's a really cracking book. It's a great book. You're going to really enjoy that. And
genius, what is evil? Oh, she's evil. I don't know if what is it? My head teacher?
My head teacher is an evil genius.
He's probably a guy.
Well, you can tune in next week, Donovan, then you can find out.
Yeah.
So you're going to need, like today, we needed a pencil and paper for the writing. You're going to need that again next week, but for some drawing. And you can join May and Poppy for the draw along. And if you've got any questions in advance for Jack, you can email them into our new email address, lal@kirkleys.gov.uk. And if you want to have a look before that as well, I'm just trying to find the button. There it is. On our website, you can also find out about our ebooks. We've got Overdrive and Libby, our ebook app. We've got Library Adventures Live collections. We've got all sorts of other books you can search for as well. And there's books you can read and books you can listen to. And you can find the link on there. You can also find a link on there for the efforts we're making to reopen partially in some of our libraries. We've got a ring and read collection started at the moment. There's a phone. If you ring this phone number, 01484 414 868, you can find out which hours your local library will be open for ring and read, where you can collect a few books. Obviously, if you're watching this on repeat later on, some things might have changed, but the phone number will stay the same. Now, I think I've said all my bits. I just want to thank Donovan again. It has been absolutely fantastic. We've really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And we will be having you back later on in the year, because I believe you've got a new book in the making or finished.
Yeah, prior to the lockdown, there was, I was really looking forward to trying to getting it out for March, just before the lockdown. And sadly, funds had to be redirected. But I do have another book. It's really ready to go to the press. It's called Read Aloud Proudly. And it's just about encouraging young people and adults to share reading and read with expression. I've even got a shouting poem in there. Yeah, you can't read that poem. You've got to shout it. Yeah, so I've realised kids need to express themselves a bit more, have fun with reading. And hopefully this collection, I think there's about 62 poems in there. So, it will hope to inspire. There's also a reading certificate in there. If you read 10 poems aloud proudly to an adult, there's a certificate supposedly in the book that you can then sign off as you've read aloud proudly 10 poems. So hopefully I'm going to have that out maybe just after the fall. I'm saying fall like I'm an American. Autumn, maybe in autumn. But definitely before the end of the year, I think. Like I said, I'm just trying to watch the lockdown, and but if my fans are out there and they start demanding get that book out to them, it's called Read Aloud Proudly, RAP.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, Donavan. We shall look forward to that, and we'll see you later in the year.
And I can finish with. Can I finish with a couple of poems for them?
Yeah,
Do we have time?
I'll hand over to you. We've just got a couple of minutes if you want to finish with your poems. And thanks again. We will see you again soon.
Are we on a timer? We're going to finish on time, or is there a time where it's going to light's going to go off?
We're on the hour now, so if you've got 2 more poems to do,
2 more poems. You're going to love them. This first poem is called "Pen Marries Blank Paper," and hopefully hopefully all poems start with a blank bit of paper and a pen, and it goes like this. Blank paper became a bride when I never had nothing to write. I just introduced my pen to blank paper. My pen did the rest. It spoke of how the paper was blank and bare and had no structure. Pen decided to marry a blank sheet of paper. I was there at the wedding. I was best man. I held the ring. The pen kissed the paper. Paper cried. She never knew she was going to be a beautiful blushing bride. As you can see, they are together, side by side. She was once blank and bare, but look now, full of a rhyme. When she thought no one cared, along came this pen of mine. Thank you very much. That's called Pen Marries Blank Paper. All about a blank piece of paper. And for my final one, before I've gone, it's like a rap. It's not a song. It's called To Be or Not To. And I know you've heard that before. And it says, to be or not to be, that is the... Yeah, well, if you say a question, to be or not to be, this is the answer. It goes like this. I can be, you can be, I can be, you can be. In fact, you can be, I can be, I can be, you can be. Anything you want. The king of sport, an astronaut, even the judge in court, the captain of the ship, the master of the port, a general in the army, or bringing thieves to court. One thing you should never be a naught. Be a doctor, a surgeon, even a nurse. Come to him if you're ill or feeling worn or worse. A teacher, preacher, even engineer, or make scary movies. And things disappear. A builder, designer, like an architect. Even in school, it was a cool subject. Prime Minister's executive, next president. That might be too easy because you're too intelligent. A writer, researcher, star on a stage. One thing you should never be is a blank page. Because life is what you live and life is what you make it. Don't be such a sieve and go around and shake it and fake it. You can make it, make it if you try. All you got to do is set your standard high. Thank you very much. My name is Donavan Christopher, aka the Rappaman. It's Library Adventures Live. Me and Olivia, Kirklees Libraries. Thank you very much for listening to me. Be safe. RAP. Respect all people.
Thank you. Thanks, Donavan. See you next week, everyone.